Hello everyone, and welcome to English Story Academy. Today, I want to share a very personal story with you, my first day in English class. I know many of you watching this are learning English right now, and maybe you've also had that nervous, exciting feeling of walking into a classroom for the first time. In this video, I'll tell you about my experience, what happened, how I felt, and what I learned from that day. So sit back, relax, and let's go back in time to my very first English class. I still remember the morning clearly. I was both excited and nervous. I had prepared my notebook, my pen, and even practiced saying a few sentences in English, just in case. When I entered the classroom, I saw many other students sitting quietly, some looking confident, others just as nervous as me. The walls had posters with English words, like hello, good morning, and pictures of animals and objects. When the teacher walked in, everyone became silent. She smiled and said, "Good morning, everyone." That was the very first English sentence I heard in class. And suddenly, I realized, this was real. I was really going to learn a new language. The teacher asked us to introduce ourselves. This was the part one feared the most. One by one, students stood up and said their name, where they were from, and one thing they liked. My heart was racing when it was my turn. I stood up, looked at the class, and in my shaky voice, I said, "Hello, my name is Zaya. I am from Brazil. I like football." The class clapped, and the teacher smiled warmly. That moment gave me confidence. Even though my English was simple, I realized that people understood me. And that was the first small victory. After introductions, the teacher started with the basics, greetings, numbers, and simple phrases. She taught us how to say, "How are you?" "I'm fine, thank you." "What is your name?" We practiced these sentences with the students sitting next to us. At first, it felt strange. My mouth was not used to the sounds, and sometimes I said the words incorrectly. But every time I tried, I got a little bit better. One thing I remember clearly is the laughter. When someone made a funny mistake, we all laughed together, not in a mean way, but in a way that made the class feel friendly. That atmosphere made learning less scary and more fun. Of course, it wasn't easy. I struggled to understand everything the teacher said. Sometimes the words sounded so fast, like one long sentence without spaces. I also felt shy to ask questions, worried that people might laugh at me. But little by little, I realized that everyone was in the same boat. Everyone wanted to learn, and everyone made mistakes. The teacher kept reminding us, don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes mean you are learning. That sentence stayed with me, and it's still true today. There was one moment from that first day I'll never forget. The teacher asked us to write down 5 English words we already knew. I wrote, cat, dog, book, hello, and thank you. When I showed her my paper, she nodded and said, "Great start." That small encouragement gave me hope. It made me believe that I could actually learn English if I kept going. Looking back, my first day in English class taught me 3 important lessons. Be brave enough to try. Even if your English is simple, use it. Don't be afraid of mistakes. They are part of the journey. Enjoy the process. Learning a language is not only about grammar, it's about connecting with people. Conclusion. So that was my story about my first day in English class. It was scary, exciting, and unforgettable. And it was the beginning of a journey that changed my life. If you are just starting your English journey, remember, you are not alone. We all start somewhere, and every step you take brings you closer to fluency. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your own experience in the comments. I'd love to know, what was your first day in English class like? See you in the next video.